Everything comes with a sacrifice. You have to give up something to get something. Always come with sacrifice. In order to be successful, you gotta have your mind, your soul, and your will in whatever you're doing.
Welcome back to Mulligan Brothers. Today's video, as always, was sponsored by Huel. I'm drinking Huel Black Edition, which has 26 vitamins and minerals, 35 grams of protein and slow release carbs to make sure that I can stay satiated and proteined up whilst I make these documentaries. If you want to find out more about these, go to the link in the description. I'll talk about them a little bit later on in the video. The sacrifices you've had to make and the decisions you've had to make have been, very difficult. And we're talking about, as a kid, sacrificing childhood, sacrificing friendships. We've spoken about sacrifice a little bit today, but I'm curious, if you was to paint a picture for us, what does it take to be, the great player that you were and you are, in the NBA? What does it take?
Sacrifice and discipline. You have to you have to sacrifice so much of your time. So much of my time was being put into trying to become great, doing whatever that is, practicing, in the gym, all that stuff. So I had to sacrifice hanging out with my friends, hanging out with my teammates, doing going out. When I was in high school, I didn't go anywhere because that was the sacrifice. How can I go to the NBA, but I'm doing everything else? I had to put that stuff to the side. So it's like, I missed a lot of my childhood because I'm playing basketball. I missed a lot of my teenage years because of basketball. Even in the NBA, the sacrifice of being on the road, traveling to city, that's a big sacrifice. You don't get a chance to be with your families as much as you want to be because you're on the road. I didn't come into the league playing for my hometown team. So I went to Orlando where I was brand new. Everything that I knew was at my high school and at my church and at my house. So I went from this box into this massive world. And, I had to sacrifice all those things in order to get here. So when you get here, those things they get bigger. You get a new set of friends that want to be your friends. You get cousins that you ain't never heard of, never seen. People that said that they cook for you back when you was younger and they want you, hey, I cooked for you when you was 10. You think you can help me out? I'm like, how did I know at 10 this was gonna happen? But you want me to help you out? People, it's crazy. But those are the sacrifices and the things that we've had to give up in order to be great. Everything comes with a sacrifice, especially when you want to be, or you're trying to get or obtain something in life. You have to give up something to get something. Always come with sacrifice. So if you want to be great at this thing called basketball, you want to be great in the NBA, you got to give up so much. And it's like what I talked to you earlier about. What does your soul consist of? Your soul is your mind, your will, and your emotions. So in order to play this sport, in order to be successful, you gotta have your mind, your soul, and your will in whatever you're doing. If it's NBA for me, this is where everything is. It's hard for me to put my energy, my mind, and my will into other things when this is it. This is what got me here. So it takes a lot.
I know today, you probably try and find balance in certain aspects of your life. Getting into the NBA, being a professional athlete at a very, very elite level, do you have to be all in, or can you find balance?
You gotta be all in, but what I have realized in my latter years is you gotta have balance, because it's so many, you can get lost in the sauce. You can get lost in so much that's going on, because even though obviously we're in the same world, it's levels in the world. And a lot of times the things that I'm dealing with and seeing, is like foreign to other, like, what is that? How do you, it's different. So, you know, you have to learn how to really decipher and separate yourself from things that could cause you to lose what you have. And, you know, that's very difficult. A lot of people they don't understand what you have to deal with or what we have to deal with on a daily basis and how to maintain and keep the things that we have. It's very difficult. And that's what sacrifice comes in. That's when great counsel comes in, and humility.
Today's episode, as always, was powered by Huel. This stuff has been absolutely crucial to my training and the world record I just broke, the world's heaviest marathon, where I carried 220 pounds for 28 miles. Yes, I achieved it, guys. It is done. This is what I was drinking, Huel Black Edition. It has 35 grams of protein, 26 vitamins and minerals and slow release carbs. And it's what I use in my training all the time. But don't just take my word for it. People like the hardest geezer ran across Africa drinking this stuff. It's absolutely amazing. And if you want to get exclusive offers and deals, go to the link in the description and you can find out more about their other products like their daily greens and their meals, which I eat every single lunchtime. Thank you to Huel for sponsoring the video, and let's dive back into the episode.
Do you remember the first time, you know, you went from a small high school to the league, like the transition where you was like, this is different?
The draft, when my name was called and I walked across that stage, that's when the target went from like this to like that. It was crazy. And, you know, you don't know how to deal with that coming in. I went from the tiniest school in Georgia to playing professional basketball in the NBA and being known worldwide. That's like insane. I go from $0 in my bank account to millions of dollars. And I'm like, how many O's is this? What do I do with this? You know, how? Like all these different things come into play because we didn't know nothing about any of this stuff coming in. I was prepared basketball wise, but everything that come along with basketball and being in the NBA, being a professional athlete, being a role model, all these different things, it comes with a lot. It comes with a lot. And I'm pretty sure there's a lot of people who say they know what they would do if they had this, that, and the third, but no.
Was there a specific moment, like maybe you went out to do something that you normally would do, like go out to the store or something, you were like, oh, this is, you know, drastically different now?
It was like that in high school for me. You know, I couldn't really go to a lot of places because, you know, before I got in the NBA, I was tall, but I was skinny. So people would always just see my peanut head and be like, there go Dwight over there, old peanut head, little boy. But now, you know, I got the little boulder shoulders. Well, I did when I got in the NBA. And, you know, being down there in Orlando is a tourist city as well. So you got people coming in from all over the world. And, you know, after the first couple of seasons of being in the NBA, our team taking the jump that it did, I started to see success at a very young age. I started to see the world different from a very young age. And, you know, it was really a lot mentally to handle, you know, because it was so many things that have happened. I remember when I first got to Orlando, I used to go to the movies all the time and nobody would, you know, just like, oh, there go Dwight. You know, everybody, oh, Dwight, you cool. But then when I started going, once I got drafted, it was just bananas. Oh, Dwight, thank you for coming to our theater. We'll give you the whole role. You can have this, you can have, you know, so it was kind of like, oh, wow, this is different. But it was kind of like a good different. It was kind of like having favor, like God's favor from being obedient and sacrificing and doing all the things that I needed to do to get to where I got to. It was kind of like, you know, just a favor, you know, going places and people recognizing me and allowing me to come into their establishments and getting free food, all that stuff. Some great perks of being in the NBA, but it's also some, Lord, it's crazy. One of the ladies who coached our track team, she worked with Magic Johnson. I'm like, hey, Magic, man, I'm gonna make it to the NBA. No, you ain't. You ain't gonna make it to no NBA, boy. What you talking about?